I've been seeing clips of this video everywhere. It is Nick Shirley investigating the fraud in Minnesota, the Somali fraud. I've been seeing clips going viral all over the place, so I had to sit down and check it out with you guys. Welcome to Inside the Vault. I'm Stephen Dale. So Nick Shirley, if you guys don't follow him, is an on-the-ground type of new generation reporter, one of the Twitter, YouTube reporters that kind of goes down, gets his hands dirty, and really sees what's going on. Doesn't really seem to have much bias, in my opinion, so very good source of information if you want that boots-on-the-ground type of thing. Definitely check him out.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building. Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses.
Almost had him as the
so
vice
much
president.
fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the U.S. taxpayers' expense.
Gross.
And in
What are
this
you
video,
doing,
we will
Tim?
break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders.
It's crazy. Like, why isn't the mainstream media or any bigger names or anything doing this? He's literally going and knocking on the doors of these businesses that received tens of millions of dollars in some cases. Why isn't anyone else doing this? You know, I'd love to blame Tim Walz till I'm blue in the face, but it's kind of shocking that no one else seems to like want to dive into this beyond just the talking point and whatever the feds are coming out in press conferences and saying. It's very weird.
To let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked.
You got guys like that guy.
How
Where's
deep is this
Tucker
fraud
Carlson?
here
Where's Candace
inside
Owens?
Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine.
Where's,
You heard
Sean
it's
Hannity,
7
Glenn
to 10
Beck.
billion and maybe more, and now the numbers
man.
have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud, and I would see these child care centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking. And then I'd go by another daycare, and I'd see the same thing. I said, well, where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. Then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well,
It's
that's
such an
great. They're out there
apparent fraud,
transportation, contributing, but they never had a passenger. Never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And
Our government has so many great resources to help people, even a lot more than I think a lot of people realize or give the government credit for. If you don't have anybody really doing any kind of checks and balances, like, they can easily be abused. I mean, it's basically free money for the taking. I don't know if y'all remember, but growing up with that guy had that like money book, like 50 ways to get like money from the government or whatever. I mean, that's basically the type of thing that Somalis seem to be doing. And I bet you the fraud goes way further than the Somali community. I think a lot of these different immigrant communities are probably pulling similar scams in different cities.
I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned.
Wow.
Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
So right here we have all this paperwork. And how are you getting all this information about the fraud?
A lot of it is through my own research And then I have some contacts at the Capitol going back many, many years. And so the data that I'm getting is 100% accurate, coming directly from research done by people at the state Capitol.
All this paperwork right here, what are we looking at?
The areas of fraud that I have numbers for are mostly related to childcare. This is massive fraud that is beyond anyone's imagination, the scope. And so, for example, there's a childcare not far from here in Minneapolis that has two childcares listed at the same address, and together they're licensed supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever, and I've been by that place at least 100 times.
These Somalians,
That's
these
crazy.
groups are setting up these daycares, these childcare centers, getting money from the government, but there's no kids.
It's just free
No
money
kids.
for the taking, man.
Never had any of them. They're all fraught with violations, and even though they have these violations, they're still in operation and they're still getting money.
The Democrat
and it's millions of
leaders
dollars
are
for
just,
every
oh.
one of them every year.
You're an immigrant.
Who's getting the money?
You say you're taking care
And
of
where are they
children.
getting
Here's
the
money.
from?
Here's money.
So
Here's
we have a
money.
thing
Here's
called
money. Here's money.
CCAP.
Here's money.
It's a blend of federal
No check.
and state money. The bottom line is it's taxpayer money, so it's state money and it's federal money. And the problem is the people at the state of Minnesota are the ones writing the checks. This is kind of the maddening thing is you have daycare, so you have adult daycare, and then you have child care, and then you have health care. And a lot of these same names keep coming up on all of these different
Of course they
types
do.
of businesses. And then, of course, we have the transportation, and a lot of those same names appear, a lot of the same addresses.
Oh, this is going to be a
There's one
frustrating
building
video to watch. I can tell.
that has 14 Somali healthcare companies at the same address. There's another building in St. Paul that has 22 Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this.
The government knows they're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks.
Yeah.
What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community. They will not speak to anyone outside the community and talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a politician, you're saying,
And they don't care. Like, that's the thing. They don't care about ripping off America for billions of dollars because that money is going into them and their community and getting funneled back home to Somalia, to families and everything there. So they literally won't vote to get rid of it. If anything, they'll vote for leaders that are more likely to look the other way and keep the status quo going. So it's not like you're going to rally up the Somali voters to end this fraud. Like, they do not care. If anything, they're probably happy about it. They're probably benefiting from it.
look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota that if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about, is getting the votes. And then the people here in Minnesota, you hear this term, Minnesota Nice. I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe. And they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud.
Yep.
And they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim
It's
Walz
disgusting,
saying there's
isn't
organized
it?
crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime? What are you doing? This is the Minnesota law,
disgusting.
which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty of misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole and I look at fraud, the Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever in history. Anywhere.
We're going to go confront these people. We're going to go to these daycare centers. We're going to see what's actually happening.
Get him, Nick.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very violent. They're exceptionally violent.
Now, with all of David's evidence, we headed out to the streets of Minneapolis to see how much fraud we could uncover in one afternoon. Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Child Care, which actually has another child care registered at the same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's two.
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
And how much money have these child care centers received?
None of those vans have moved in.
All right, make your bets in the comments. How many children do you think are going to be at the Mako/Mini Childcare Center that is responsible for receiving benefits from the government for 120 children? My guess is 0.
In 6 months, none of them. In 2020, one of them received $1.3 million. In 2021, they got $987,000. In 2022, they got $714,000. That's the last I have for that one. And then the other one, $1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year 2024, they got about $800,000, and in fiscal year 2023, they got $904,059. This place right here. Yes.
5.2 million.
Well, this is actually 2 daycares are registered here. One of them is Mako, which you see on this sign. The other one is Mini Child Care Center. And between the two of these child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year. And there are no children. Every facility as you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
There are indeed.
That's crazy.
No windows. All the windows are blacked out right here. All right, let's go in.
No.
And the child care center is locked. Should we ring the doorbell? Yeah. Try to get in, rang the doorbell. Nobody showed up. They're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. it says here on their sign, yet there's absolutely nobody here. And this building here, right here, has generated millions of dollars. And
5.2 million.
It seems like business isn't even open right now, and it's a weekday. And if this was a daycare center, it wouldn't just be in some industrialized building. There would be maybe like a playground or something outside. Or
the crazy thing too is they're getting these buildings and stuff. They're probably generating enough money to actually fund legitimate businesses. So they're building the American dream by stealing money from the American taxpayer. Like literally it's just nuts. If you give me $5 million over the course of 3 years, I could build multiple legitimate businesses that are, positive cash flowing and everything else. Like, it's crazy.
There's no play area for the kids. So where are the kids? Where's anybody? How can there be nobody here? And it's like this every single day. I've never seen a single child here. In 9 years, I've never seen a single child at this building. Right there.
Oh, then now it looks like we already got the Somalis coming through.
Yeah, they're coming. The word's out.
Hello, is this your daycare?
No. Can you tell us why there are no children? Have you ever seen children at this child care center?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Doesn't know if she's ever seen a child here. All right, let's go to the next location. And the fraud only gets more from here. Make sure you stay till the very end of this video to see exactly how much fraud we find by the time we are done. And before we go to the next location, I want to show you something super interesting about the flags of Minnesota. And here in Minnesota, if you take a look at the Minnesota state flag, they recently changed it, and it very much so resembles the flag of Somalia.
You gotta be kidding
and really quick,
me,
I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Opus Clip, and use code Nick Shirley. 1 week free and 3 months at 50% off. And now let's get back into the video. Now we're going to the next daycare center. How much money has this one generated?
Stuff's wild,
this
man.
One in fiscal year 2025, $1,042,059. In fiscal year 2024, $1,059,078. And in fiscal year 2023, $727,336.
This next one is literally 1 block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years. Let's see if there's any children. Let's see if any of the buildings are open.
3 million. What? Take your bets. How many kids?
We've arrived to ABC Learning Center.
How many kids?
All the windows are blacked out. Let's see if anybody is here.
It seems like the prominent business in Minnesota is just stealing from the Minnesota taxpayer.
This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children. 0 children. I've come by this place 100 times. I've never seen a child here, ever.
Imagine you're a parent in Minnesota that's actually trying to find like an after school program or childcare too. You have all these fake businesses. You're probably calling them and they're either not answering or they don't speak English or whatever, telling you they're full. Like that, I mean, just additional frustration added to the legal citizens living there and trying to be productive members of society in Minnesota.
The only thing I've ever seen is someone standing outside smoking.
What's crazy about this is that last daycare center is that green building right there. And the other daycare center right now is right here. These buildings should be operating as they're receiving literally millions of dollars. I knocked on the door.
I bet you they're running like completely. I bet you they're running completely other businesses on the inside too. You know, my online businesses and stuff, I would love to have a big open space for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're running some kind of online businesses or studios or something inside of these places, and they're just dressing them up as childcare learning facilities.
Actually answered the door. Hello? Can we speak? I would like to check a child in the daycare. Why? Can I speak to a manager? Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare. And after a few questions, the lady went silent. Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we going?
See what I mean?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Childcare.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fifth.
Means like a lot of parents had to know of this fraud too, right? Because I'm sure there's been dozens of people that have tried to contact these places, and there's hundreds of these places. There's not like one or two, there's a lot of them. So they try and contact these places and yet can't get a hold of anybody, can't get kids in, whatever. So they had to think something fishy was going on there too. So so many people know of this fraud, but yet it's just been allowed to occur and get bigger and bigger.
Fiscal year
and bigger.
2025, this facility,
so gross,
which has its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I try to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door. I want to put my son Joey in daycare. Cause I need a spot to put my son Joey.
Yes.
Is this your daycare center?
No, so I work there. What's happened?
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They got paid $1.26 million.
Yeah, see, he's saying he works there. I bet he does some completely different business. Like they could be running ghost kitchens for, you know, Uber Eats or something out of these. They could be running online businesses, you know, like pack and ship online stores and stuff like that. I mean, you have all these industrial buildings and big empty spaces that obviously aren't being used for childcare. They're probably using them for something. So basically the government is sponsoring them building their business and paying all their employees and stuff, which happen to be other Somalis, legal or illegal. Like it's just crazy. We're literally using our tax dollars to let them take over the area, industry wise, population wise, everything else. Like this should be shocking to most people.
In fiscal year 2025, it says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
He's there. Kids there.
How many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! You're a liar. I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
Me, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain everything?
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Because of
my
your color.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
But you said you're scared of me because of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now they're all getting mad because he's showing the paperwork of this business being registered as a business. 74 children, no children. We saw one child when the lady opened up the door. So now they're all getting mad.
I mean, honestly, I talked about them running other businesses inside. I bet you it's just as dumb as like they probably just are literally babysitting like people in the neighborhood. and they have like, you know, a few parents or whatever in there, and it probably is actually childcare, but for like 5 or 6 kids in the neighborhood, and they just register like dozens and dozens more. Like they all put their same friends' kids' names when they register with the state for their funding.
Not good.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Ask the owner and the kids.
Well, then why are you talking
That's
for the
not my
owner
proof.
if you're
That's
telling me
not
to
my
talk
proof.
to the owner?
I'm sorry. I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody?
No.
Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing? It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers, preschool.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
It's from the state of Minnesota right here.
And Tampon Timmy just allowed this to happen year after year after year.
Have a good day. As we continue to show the blatant fraud that was taking place here in Minnesota, Somalis started following us around the city. And now we're being followed by the Somalis. This is another daycare center, absolutely no signage, and there's no footprints in the snow of children playing outside.
$3 million in funding.
$5 million within the past
5.9 million in 2 years. 5.9 million they received in 2 years. That facility right there.
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now. From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Leering Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is.
They can't even spell learning right.
So this is Quality Leering Center. I meant to say Quality Learning.
Like it's so blatant and so bad that like you what else can you do but laugh? I mean,
Center.
Don't open up.
They said they spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up.
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up.
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up. We have ice.
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up.
and getting $4 million over
Don't
the...
open up. It's ice.
and just like clockwork, you have your boomer Karen out there trying to defend the thieving illegal Somali immigrants that are stealing millions of the tax dollars because, you know, her ingrate grandchildren don't deserve that tax money to actually help them build a quality life in America. No, let's give it all away to Somali immigrants because, you know, they just deserve it more because they're not white. And being white is the worst thing you could be.
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away.
What do you think about
So
that?
gross.
Are you in
Go
favor?
away.
Are you in favor of that?
Go away.
You know where
You're
the-
not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you.
Are you in favor of $1.9
Shame
million
on you. It's
going
ice.
illegally,
Don't open up.
fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up.
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are. You don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up. It's ice.
You don't belong here.
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children.
This area is for Somalis to take money from the government, not for entitled white people to walk on their own country's area.
Here at this building, but there's no one here. This is a child daycare center.
99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley,
Oh
ma'am.
boy.
And who are
Oh
you
boy.
with?
Nick Shirley.
Her internal battle right now between facts and logic being shown to her and her Trump derangement in her brain. The Trump derangement syndrome is battling hard to overtake the facts and logic, but they're just showing so many facts. How can those be?
Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States. Get rid of all the fraud. Have you ever seen children at that daycare center right there?
Where?
Yeah, it's right there. It
She's
says the
probably
child-
calling
you've
them
never seen
ICE so
daycare.
that somebody will shoot them.
We're going to educate you on something.
If I could guess the motive is in her head, she's using that terminology because it's such a charged word right now. When you call people ICE, people are attacking ICE, throwing rocks at them, shooting at them, everything else. So if you got somebody there pointing out illegal immigrants doing illegal immigrant shit, well, just call them ICE. And then, you know, people who don't know better might throw rocks at them or assault them or shoot them or something else.
So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelt learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone.
So dumb.
And they're supposed to have 99 children here.
I don't see it.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None at all. None.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know, where are the kids?
Right.
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that here.
seen a child here.
No, not at all.
And so you've never seen a child here for 8 years?
Nope, not at all.
And how does that make you feel, knowing that this place is receiving $1.9 million?
Disgusting.
Yep.
I mean, what the hell? They stealing the money. That's a federal grant too. That's, you know, if they get caught for that, it's a federal offense. I know. I studied law.
And do you think Tim
Yeah,
Walz
but
should go to
Tim
jail
is
for all the fraud
protecting
that he's enabled here in his state?
That's him doing this? Well, heck yeah. He's got to be held accountable for this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children.
That's crazy. I mean, who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians.
Oh my god. Well, where?
It's so blatant.
Yeah,
it's so blatant.
I've never seen nobody here at all.
That's the crazy thing. Like, everybody nowadays is so fascinated with conspiracy theories and like all this, oh, Israel, Mossad agent and blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, there's so much just blatant shit happening in front of our faces that nobody seems to pay attention to or care about. Like, can we focus on that first and get rid of all the blatant crimes and wrongdoings that are going on? You know, the judges that are letting out 72-time criminals, and, you know, people that are getting out on cashless bail for murder, and businesses that are supposed to be children's learning centers that can't even spell learning and never have any kids present, but receiving millions of dollars a year from the government. Like, this stuff is right in front of your face and nobody cares about it. Like, we can't even focus on conspiracies until we can confront the obvious crimes and evil right in front of us, like just right in our face.
So how long have you been living here?
Since 2017.
You've never seen a single child walk in that building?
No, not at all.
So this big daycare center is literally just a place to traffic money. $1.9 million just this year alone. And this guy's been living here for 8 years and has never seen a single child walk through those doors. There's no windows either.
No.
And the only window they do have, the door, is blacked out.
Yep, I see that. I've never seen anybody go in there.
Within just a few hours, we nearly approached $20 million in fraud, and we headed over to George Floyd's neighborhood to expose more of the fraud taking place.
This place is called Future Leaders Early Learning Center, and it's licensed for 90 children. And in fiscal year 2025, they received $3.6 million. In fiscal year 2024,
like, it's just one after another after another. Like, there's just no end.
Received $3 million. So in 2 years, they got $6.67 million, claiming they have 90 children every day of the week, 5 days a week.
I mean,
let's
these
find
people
out.
are making just about more money than NBA athletes.
And we don't even know if they're paying taxes, but we don't know where this money is going. Is it going to terrorism? Where is it going? But it's theft, it's fraud. And the reason I'm involved is I want it to stop. I care about Minnesota. I'm doing this for the people of Minnesota. I don't make a dime off all this.
It's so sad, because you think about the homeless people in Minnesota that could be getting help with that money, the drug addicts, the vets, the veterans, right? Everybody complains about how hard it is to get stuff with the VA, even though people seem to be able to, you know, pay some shady brokers to get them VA disability. But people with real disability that are vets tend to have a terrible time getting any kind of actual good coverage that will take care of them. They have to go through this whole huge process. But you think about all of this money and what it could be doing just in the state of Minnesota, and then you relate that across the country. where there's no doubt other things like this going on. This is just one community that did it so brazenly and stupidly that everybody's starting to pay attention. You know, let's not even talk about the people that came in and did more intelligent frauds, the immigrants that have been doing, you know, more complex fraud schemes and stuff to steal money and welfare and things like that from the states. It's unimaginable the damage that this has done to our country. It almost makes you wonder if it's even recoverable at this point, but I certainly hope so.
Time I've spent on this, I put my life at risk several times, but I'm determined to see this through and to correct what is wrong, what is evil.
And God bless this guy,
Leaders
honestly.
Early Learning Center. This building received over $3 million.
It just keeps going.
Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork or can I check out the daycare? No? Why can't I check out the daycare?
It's not here.
Okay, but if can I get paperwork or anything to submit my son little Joey to come in here to daycare? We'd really like to put
this
Joey
is
in
nuts,
this daycare. We've heard
man.
great things.
Business card?
No, I would like your business card actually.
You talk to your manager.
Okay, can I speak with somebody? Where are the children at? Are there children here today?
No.
No children.
Yes.
Why are there no children?
Two of Mexico.
Would my son little Joey have friends to play with here?
No.
No.
Yes.
No friends for little Joey.
Yes. Sorry.
Ah, dang it. Well, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
So, little Joey would not be accepted to that daycare.
Joey's still homeless.
Joey's still looking for daycare. And because little Joey couldn't get into a daycare, we went.
Mind you, like one of the biggest issues and why millennials are not having children and Gen Zers, if you look at the surveys and stuff on why millennial and Gen Zers don't want to have kids and don't want to especially have multiple kids, is because childcare is so expensive and difficult. I wonder if all these millions of dollars in funding were actually going to legitimate childcare places, if that would bring the cost down. I wonder.
To an autism center.
Nah, probably not.
As they have been
right?
popping up everywhere as a rise of autism has occurred here in Minnesota because of the government funds that they're receiving. I tried to check my son Joey into an autism center. We've been going to a lot of these daycare centers. We're trying to find a spot for our little boy Joey, but we thought maybe we could check him into the autism center because none of the daycare centers are open. Yeah, and how many kids do you guys have at this autism center?
I can't give you a number now.
Like more than 5?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, so you don't really know?
Yeah.
It's such a joke,
What do you guys think about like the fraud that's been labeled on the autism centers here?
Nobody's ever questioned these guys. Like they haven't even been prepped for questioning because nobody's given an F, which leads me to believe that like they have been operating this with impunity, which is where Tim Walz really needs to be held accountable, because it is ridiculous that they've been able to operate with such level of impunity that their people aren't even trained to lie about how many kids are there. You would think at least if you were going to run a fraud childcare operation, right, that you would be scared of getting caught and you would tell all the employees, oh, if anybody asks, we have 120 kids here, and you know, this is where you find the list of names if they want to check or anything, blah, blah, blah. You know, you would think you would try and do a little CYA, as we call it. But instead, they just, they don't even care. Like they have no fear of getting caught. They haven't taken any precautions because they just feel completely empowered to commit as much fraud as they want against the American people. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. Throw Tim Walz in jail, man. This is ridiculous. You are the leader of this state. This is the exact thing that you are put in charge to make sure doesn't happen. Now, could one or two of these type of fraud things pop up and, you know, is that the governor's fault? No, of course not. But you're talking about dozens, if not hundreds, that are operating with complete impunity, that have no fear of getting caught, that have never been questioned on any of the basis for any of this stuff. And your team and your departments are just signing off on all their checks. That makes you complicit, Tim. Go to jail. Like, put him in jail. This is ridiculous.
What do you guys do think about the fraud, or how come the autism centers are popping up?
I can't answer.
What news? Are you a news reporter?
My name's Nick. We're doing a little documentary trying to find little Joey a spot to put himself in one of these centers here, because there's
So why are you asking us about like
the fraud.
and stuff like that?
Yeah, because we want to make sure we're going to legit business if we're going to bring our little boy Joey here.
This is not a Joey spot. Yeah. But that's our number on you. But this is we can't let you guys in. So.
Okay, thank you. So once again, little
This ain't a
Joey,
Joey
he
spot.
can't even go to daycare, and now they won't even accept him if he has autism.
And again, no kids. Couldn't tell you how many kids they serve.
After being able to provide no evidence of them actually being an autism center in a place where a child could go, they shut the door and we headed to the next fraudulent daycare center that was just around the corner.
I see why
We're on to
clips
the
of this
next
are going
location. We're
viral,
still
man.
trying to
This
find
is
little Joey a place
infuriating.
to go to get some daycare.
So where we're going now is a place called Super Kids Daycare Center. Interestingly, this daycare center was shut down when it was called Creative Minds Daycare, and it had received $2.45 million this fiscal year, 2025. They had to shut down because there were so many violations, and they went and they just reopened under a new license, and they renamed the center Super Kids Daycare Center, LLC.
So they got shut down, then started another one.
It's such a joke.
Literally the next day.
It is such a
Creative
joke,
Minds
man.
Daycare, 2.
All right, if you live in Minnesota and you're not an illegal Somali immigrant, you're a good tax-paying person, just start opening these centers, right? And then when they come and try and charge you for fraud, file lawsuit against the state for discrimination, because they're letting all of these Somali people run these fraudulent businesses with impunity, without question. So, I mean, if they don't let you do the same as a citizen, then isn't that discrimination by the government? Like,
$4 or $5 million got sent to this daycare center. We have
yeah, that looks like
empty
a
parking lot.
multi-million
We do have
dollar
a bus
business,
here. This
right?
is different. We'll see if we see anybody. I knocked on the door. Absolutely nobody was inside, and once again, no children could be heard anywhere. So, David, once again, another child daycare center. We have a bus out here. No one's inside. Licensed for over 50 kids. No children anywhere, but yet millions of dollars every single year.
So the sign says Creative Minds Daycare. They got in so much trouble, they had so many violations that they had to shut down, and they reopened the next day under Super Kids Daycare Center. You see 3801 Portland, 3801 Portland, which is where we are.
So that's fraud right there alone.
Millions and millions of dollars, and again, the kids are missing. Where are the kids?
This is what I mean about, like, you have to hold Tim Walz accountable because he's complicit. Like, how do you have a fraudulent business actually get inspected, determine that they have tons of violations? Like, you can't have children safely here. This is just some empty restaurant or dentist office or something. Like, where are you holding these, where are you having a safe area for these children? And then what do? Do they actually, like, even spend a tiny bit of that money to make the place look like a childcare center on the inside? No, we'll just close out that fraud license and start a new one. And what does Tim Walz's administration do? All right, yeah, we'll just sign off on it. Here you go. Here's a new one. Next time you get inspected, just close it and open a new one.
You'd think if they had the same address,
Ridiculous,
that whoever's
man.
inside or working at the Capitol here inside of Minnesota would just say, oh, maybe that's a red flag.
Like, am I crazy, guys? Like, is this not maddening to you? And if you haven't seen, this type of news reporting being brought to you, make sure you subscribe down here, guys. Here on my channel, Steven's Vault, and through my show Inside the Vault, I try and bring you guys pressing issues, on the ground reporting from people that are actually out there showing us what's really happening in America. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow along with me. Also give Nick some love. He's the one boots on the ground out there doing this. It's just, it's wild to me, man. It's wild to me.
They just write the check. Human Services, they got to clean out the whole bunch. They're the ones who enabled this fraud. How can you not look and say, Wait a minute, these two are registered at the same address.
On top of all of the childcare centers. That's
You would think it would be obvious, right? You would think any halfway competent government and administration would catch that, wouldn't you? I hope heads roll for this in Minnesota, man. I hope not only Tim Walz goes to jail, but dozens of these administrators that knowingly signed off on this fraud, put them all in jail, lock them up.
just only a small piece of the fraud. What other fraud are they committing here in Minnesota?
So another major piece of the fraud is the home health care industry. Where we're going now is a building that has 14 Somali-owned home health care companies in the same building.
14 of the same healthcare companies in the one building.
14 home health care companies with different names in the same building.
How bad has Tim Walz managed the budget here inside of Minnesota?
So the last biennium, we had an $18 billion surplus. This biennium, we have a $6 billion deficit. That's a $24 billion swing in one biennium. How in the world can you burn through $24 billion in 2 years?
And we wonder why inflation is so bad and the cost of everything is so high. One city, man, 24 billion just blown.
This is how right here. This is a huge part of it.
And so would you say a lot of that is fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Absolutely. I would say better than 90% of it is absolute outright fraud.
And a large percentage of this fraud is from these healthcare companies that are charging the state millions of dollars while they actually aren't providing anything. In fact, the FBI just did a raid a few days ago on a building similar to the one we are about to enter. Inside of this building, there were 14 of nearly the exact same businesses offering the exact same services. Right here, you have a list of...
How do you have 14 You can't plead incompetence when you're signing off to the checks of 14 businesses in the same freaking building, all doing the same government provided and funded work. Like, come on, man. And none of them are legit. None of them.
All of the healthcare companies, loads of them right here. We want healthcare.
No, it's okay.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here.
No.
Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait.
Warning, you are under video surveillance, no trespassing, security armed. This is the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare.
But Tim Walz had no idea.
Of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here.
I guarantee you're going to find a lot of this money funneled back to the Democrats and the political parties and administrators in this state. If anybody actually tries to trace the money, I bet you that's going to happen.
Another healthcare company right here. There are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here in this room of 7C. Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk to about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever...
And, and then, so you got some Somali guy setting up all these fraud businesses, and then they hire all the Somalis that just, oh yeah, just sit here, watch TV, play TikTok, and, answer the phone if it rings or whatever. And, tell me if anyone from the state comes by looking into stuff. And like, that's it. And they don't even have a legitimate job. It's just...
been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers and they actually took down our information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that gentlemen matching your description were in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
Okay.
Well, that's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here. And he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers, everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay. So
he's here with some kind of like propaganda.
No, we're just checking.
This is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason that you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's not.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again,
I mean, somebody's got to watch the kids of all the Somali people doing their fake jobs, watching TikTok while they're guarding these empty healthcare buildings. Like, you know, somebody's got to watch the kid of the Somali woman that's sitting at the desk of the empty healthcare facility.
we've been getting reports from multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
So
as we got escorted out of this building, the Somalis filmed us as we left, and we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building.
Right, like, here you how does no one seem to look into this? Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's beyond gross incompetence. It's you're part of it. You're allowing the scheme to take place.
Multicultural home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Denden Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginning Center. But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care. All of these businesses are literally the same type of business, providing the same service in the same building.
And I bet you they're taking out lines of credit and cell phones and everything else too. Like, I used to work in the cell phone industry, and people would create business accounts fraudulently just to steal phones and stuff, because they could create in a business and then go and sign up for phone contracts and then never pay any bills or anything and take and sell the phones. So who knows how many frauds that they're running, not just against the state of Minneapolis, but in general with these businesses.
Another Convenience Home Healthcare, Aid, Inc., and Child Friendly Space. All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the same company essentially inside of the same building, door to door? Right here, Queenly Home Healthcare. It just does not make sense. If you were trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here, they have all of their competition right next door. We're wondering, because we hear there's lots of fraud taking place here in Minnesota, and we're wondering, why is there so many of the same companies inside of this same building?
No, I don't know that.
What do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't have any idea about that fraud, okay? That's it.
What do you think about the news articles and what's being spread on the news about the fraud?
Right now, you are doing something wrong.
I'm just asking you.
No, you
about
don't
the
have
fraud.
to ask me, okay? Don't ask me that question again.
Okay.
Okay?
Who can I speak to? Who can I speak to? Okay. As soon as you confront about
You
the
are
fraud,
doing something wrong.
they get angry.
Question
when
me
these
about
people have
fraud.
these home healthcare companies, you're seeing them everywhere inside this building. What
I have 50,000 patients to attend to behind here.
kind of fraud are they committing?
So there's
So
false
gross,
documentation being submitted to the state of Minnesota for services never provided. They're having forms signed in advance for services that were then never rendered. As far as a year or 2 years in advance, they'll have someone sign these forms at one sitting, and then they just file those with the state of Minnesota, and nobody from the state of Minnesota bothers to check that those services were ever provided.
So they're essentially just using people saying that they had these services provided months or even years ago, then filing the paperwork and then receiving money from the government.
Right, and the Somali community is a very close
I wonder why healthcare is so expensive. This couldn't be part of it.
community, so everybody's in on it, and they don't want to talk, as you can see.
And for this building, I'm going to give an estimate of around $30 million for how much fraud is taking place. That is a very low estimate. However, still a lot of money in fraud. And do you think there is fraud taking place here?
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what any of these businesses are doing?
I never ask.
And now with upwards of $100 million in fraud, we headed to one more daycare, and this one gets a little spicy as we get chased out at the very end. And after this, we'll be heading to the state capitol to confront the incompetent government leaders who have enabled this fraud to happen. And I knew this video was going to be super dangerous to film because of obviously how hostile it is, and as we are exposing legit fraud happening. I did get security for this video, and I was able to do it through the Black Line Guardian. And if you guys want to help fund my security in the future, you can go down to the link down below. They're not paying me to say any of this. They came and decided to help me out for this video. So you can go to Black Line Guardian, the link's down below, and click Guardian for Nick, and those funds will directly go to my security and future videos as we are exposing lots of things happening, especially with this fraud. Like I said,
that's an interesting program. I hadn't heard of that. I might need to look into that.
Go down the link
if I
down
start
below,
doing any on the street type
stuff. Keep going. And now we're going to the next location. Now, this child daycare center, this one's different than all the other ones we've been to. Tell us about this one.
This one is different because, according to the state of Minnesota, this 312 West Lake Street houses not one, not two, but 3 child care centers and is licensed to hold 102 children. And in fiscal year 2025 was paid $2.6
we should have kids just running all over the place there,
by
right?
the state of Minnesota.
And this is the building
100 kids is a lot of kids.
So this building alone made $2.6 million. Let's see if anybody's inside. Now we're inside of the building where there's apparently 4 child care centers. We met this lady and we followed her to the back.
Like my son's school probably has less than 100 kids. Every time I go there, you see kids around coming, going, playing out in the playground, everything else. I mean, and that, I think they probably got like 60 kids. So 100 kids, you should see a lot of kids visibly in the area.
Back of the building where the daycare was supposedly at. So right here we have 2 child daycare centers. We have the Minnesota Child Care Center, and then we also have Nuna. Between the two, $2.66 million. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Why are you recording?
Yes. We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name?
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
You always only ever see, you know, all these places they visited, you've had people coming in and out, but it's always been adults. You've never seen a single child yet.
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department? That is harassment.
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over 2.
Yeah, so I mean, they just get a building, slap on some kid-friendly paint and stuff. You know, they probably get some little minor inspection from somebody in the city or send in pictures or whatever and say, hey, here's our facility. And then here's the list of, you know, 50 Somali names that we made up or as our friends' kids or whatever else. Give us money for all these children's care. And, you know, those same kids are probably on the list of every single one of these dang buildings. Like, it's ridiculous.
$0.6 million. We are just curious, where are the children at? Do you know where the children are at?
No.
Where are the children at in these daycare centers?
I don't care.
How can these child care centers have no children?
I don't know. No.
There's $2.6 million inside these businesses that were given by the government, but there's no children to be seen anywhere. People deserve to know where their taxes are going. If these companies and these daycare centers are making upwards of $2.6 million and there's no children to be seen anywhere, something fraudulent is happening. And that is not make you racist, Islamophobic. This is just the truth of what's happening here in Minnesota. If there's a bunch of white people doing the same thing, we'd be talking about the same issue. This is just fraud up.
The boomer Karens and
it's actually
white libs are going to call you racist either way.
Inside?
You could literally, like, you could show their fraud openly and you're still racist and bigoted and Islamophobic or whatever else. It doesn't matter. Like, those words don't have any meaning anymore, Nick. I certainly don't care about them.
of these buildings. They're nowhere to be seen. Millions of dollars are being sent into these daycare centers all across Minnesota, and there's not a child to be seen anywhere. Here's another daycare center inside this same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir.
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of dollars?
Ask me the local government, yeah.
Oh, we've asked. We have the paper here. Yeah. So we're wondering where the money and where the children are at. We have the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have. She doesn't have permission to record me.
You cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
I love how these like illegal immigrants and people from other countries always try and like impart their laws on our society. Like, no, like we have freedoms in this country. We can film whatever the hell we want, especially if they're out in public. Now, right now he's on private property, so if the owner of the property had like no filming signs up and stuff like that, then he could say, you know, he's breaking the rules. But the worst that would happen is that they could be asked to leave. So, but all these people run up and act like it's some federal crime because in their country, you know, they're not allowed to do it. But guess what? You're in America, buddy. He can film you if he wants.
You don't have any permission.
Worst you can do is ask him to leave.
Okay. Then are there children?
So leave. Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
And I mean, honestly, even though this is a private building, I'm assuming it's a publicly accessible corridor. So there's no assumption of privacy.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center.
After he says it's illegal to film me, and then he turns around and starts filming him. Like,
so leave.
Tell us what's happening here then.
I said leave.
We're wondering what's happening.
We are not a child care. We are nothing to do with it. We're common people walking. And
yes,
you are,
we're not accusing you. We're asking where the children are at.
Don't ask me anything.
We're not accusing you. We're asking the daycare centers.
I am not going to answer. You have.
Where are the children at?
Leave.
We just want to know where are the children.
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who do you work for?
I work for myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking
the
to
Minnesota
right
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here? Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
I don't know who you're talking to. Leave.
He'd never seen any kids
where
there.
Where are the children at? David, they won't even answer. We asked him. Plain and simple, where are the children? Do children come here?
This is why I've had my life. I've been attacked twice. Once with a knife, and the other time I was jumped last Saturday by 3 Somali men simply for asking questions about what was going on. And
Patriot,
they're very
Patriot.
violent people. They do not like this fraud to be exposed.
There's entire government organizations that are supposed to be doing this, but instead it's this one dude here. Like, it's so pathetic, man. But at least he's a patriot, and good on Nick for going out there and using his platform to expose this.
After giving this man plenty of opportunities to answer the simple question, where are the children, he called the cops on us, and we headed to the state capitol where they're having a meeting about the fraud to confront
I can't believe they changed their flag to look like the Somali
people
flag.
in the government who have enabled and let this fraud happen. Inside of this,
did I tell you, every couple of days I watch some of these investigative reports or something that makes me really question, like, are we just cooked? Like, are we too far gone? What they did over the 4 years of Biden, did they just take us beyond the point of reconciliation? I mean, I don't know. But seeing stuff like this really makes you wonder. I mean, they're funneling millions and millions and millions of dollars into the campaigns of illegals, the businesses of illegals. Like, how is that going to translate over the next 5 or 10 years? Like, what's going to be left of America and our ideals and our way of governing if all of our money is just getting funneled to people who want to take down Western values, take down Western civilization, change us into a Sharia law, Muslim sect, caliphate country? Like,
committee, a Republican representative showed charts showing exactly how this fraud has been committed and who is profiting and connecting all the dots. And while the Democrat representatives looked into the abyss, one of them spoke about how none of this is building trust and how this is a nonpartisan issue. So I confronted her after that.
Yes, but I'm...
He has some very valid questions to ask about what's going on here in Minnesota. And do you think this fraud
I don't know who
crosses?
you are.
My name is Nick Shirley. Do you think this fraud is Republican or Democrat, or just facts that fraud is happening?
Runs away.
Well, because that's what I heard you talking about.
You know, the point of having elected officials and different levels of elected officials, if you read like the Constitution and the way the government was set up, the whole point of having local elected officials reporting to larger elected officials, reporting to larger elected officials, like that whole structure is set up so that you have the ability to do exactly this, that your elected official is supposed to be somebody that is in your community that you can go up and actually question and actually, you know, impart your viewpoint or say whether or not they're doing a good job or ask them why the law is doing this or that and have that conversation. So the fact that they just want to turn and run away when millions of dollars are being stolen and they don't want to actually talk about it or give any information or even just say, yes, it's wrong, this shouldn't be happening, we're going to do everything we can to stop it. Like, that's disgusting.
I know what I said is that what we're talking about is...
we want to build trust, but fraud is fraud, so why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
No, I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
Okay, sir.
No. This is not.
Sir.
When are you going to hold Governor Walz? No. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Yes. Are you?
If you're going to talk to me like that,
are you going to say to her, I'm a disability advocate? I
heard you, and
get
you got a chance
overstimulated.
to testify.
Thank you for testifying today.
No.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue. How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath?
I think if you've been listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings on this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who, both Democrat and Republicans. I think what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What they're interested in is telling a story.
This fraud has happened
because the Democrats allowed it to happen. You can't allow for billions of dollars of fraud and then when it gets caught, be like, oh, well, let's not talk about how all that fraud occurred. Let's just talk about what we're going to do to stop it. Okay. Like, don't, I mean, I know my campaign got contributions from like all these fraudsters and, you know, I didn't really care when thousands of these medical businesses were being signed up with basically no scrutiny and given millions of dollars. But let's not worry about that now. Okay. Let's just focus on being bipartisan and stopping it.
Underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid
people
fraud
like
across
her need
the
to go
country
to jail,
under Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud
out of office,
Trump
put her in jail.
There, we have is fraud. Private providers have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with consumers. I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health, currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is a 50-state issue. Mm-hmm. And so, again, it is not a partisan issue. There are Democrats.
Yeah, I think you got a little more than just, you know, some basic Medicare fraud going on in Minneapolis, man. You know, I mean, Medicare, Medicaid fraud of any government, you know, entitlement is going to happen, right? Like, that's the thing. People criticize like welfare, food stamps, all this stuff. I think all those things are very important, should exist. I'm not a big, like, you know, cut out all of our support structures. I think part of what makes us great as a country is that we have those type of things, and we should. I can see a place where if we're flourishing enough that we even add to those type of benefits and entitlements for citizens, but they're always going to be ripe for abuse. And so you have to have lawmakers, legislatures, people in administrative positions that have a skeptical eye and are looking for abuse. And the fact that you have Minnesota administrators and lawmakers that are giving licenses to these businesses, giving money to these businesses, because people have to sign off on these dollars. People have to sign off on these licenses. And those people are put in place by people like her. Elected officials are the ones that, appoint a lot of these positions, hire and fire a lot of these people to do these different things, decide which laws are there to safeguard the state and the federal money coming in. So, he's asking the question to the right type of person that is directly responsible for this fraud occurring, because this isn't just your run-of-the-mill, like, hey, government's giving out money, so there's going to be some people that try and steal it that don't deserve it. This is organized, calculated mass fraud that happens so blatantly and so obviously that the only way you could be not privy to it occurring if you're in that government is to either be just completely dumb or to be looking the other way. Because why do we need, 15 healthcare places in the same building with no real format to hold customers or patients or anything else, but yet we're going to sign off on checks for them, gain millions of dollars a year? Once again, somebody's got to sign those business licenses. Somebody's got to sign those healthcare licenses. Somebody's got to sign those checks. There's a lot, you got to realize, if you haven't ran a business, there is so much bureaucratic red tape, so many things that you have to, and I've never ran like a healthcare business or anything like that. Those are even 10 times what I've done. But even the businesses I do, you have to file with the attorney general, you have to file with the state, you have state like auditors and people looking into your business all the time. You have people that look into your excise taxes and other things like that. And you have people that follow up, and you have your quarterly and annual reports and statements and people that follow up with those and everything else. Like, there's a lot of oversight into just a normal business. So how healthcare, and I never received a penny from the government. So how there's healthcare businesses, which are supposed to have more scrutiny, okay, and they're receiving state funding and federal funding, which would apply even more scrutiny, how all of those businesses are able to basically just openly defraud the government and no one questions it. Like, that shows, I'm sorry, but that shows that this is a inside job. This is the administration of Minnesota allowing this to occur, because you would struggle to open a regular fraudulent business and not get caught. These people are opening businesses that should be under 10 more layers of scrutiny than a regular business, and they're not getting caught. And it's not one, it is hundreds. So don't sit there and tell me like, oh, fraud's just a big issue and we're helping all of this. Bullshit. I call absolute bullshit. That, she should be ashamed of herself. She should be ashamed of herself.
And Republicans who are sitting in that committee talking about it. But what you did here was the Republican chair say she's not turning information over to the one person in government who can stop payment. And I hope you print that.
Thank you for coming today.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well,
yeah, who is it? A bunch of Karens. I mean,
you saw what happened there?
The state of Minnesota that we live in, and these politicians are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump. They want to blame the Trump administration. We have Democrats blaming ICE. I'm tired. My people are suffering. I'm scared for my little brother. My people are suffering.
It's heartbreaking, man.
Walk off.
Like, I can't imagine if I had a disability or a family member with a disability and in that state and seeing how much money is just being stolen from the coffers of the disability fund, while I have somebody that I love that's been fighting to try and get funding for, a wheelchair or specialized care or something else, and has been following all the proper procedures and not getting, this is the type of stuff that's radicalizing. And the left keeps doing it, and they don't understand. Like, they're creating a situation that is going to cause an uprising where the left no longer will exist, because you can't do this kind of thing to disabled people. You can't do this type of thing to business people. You can't do this type of thing to parents. You can't do this type of thing to, you know, white people. You can't do this type of thing to men. All of this stuff that the libs are doing to try and basically demonize and strip and milk every group of people for their own self-benefit to their select few of people that they think are deserving, which is, you know, illegal Muslim immigrants seems to be the common theme, and transsexuals. You know, you can't just keep funneling money and power and influence from every other group to those people and not expect that to radicalize people to the point where there will be a massive uprising. So
we have a governor who
like, look at this guy, you know, like this guy, you know, what about this guy screams Republican to you, right? Like nothing. I don't know his personal politics, but I would assume he probably wasn't a Republican prior to living through this experience of having disabilities, being a disability advocate, and seeing the Democrats commit this massive fraud against the people he cares about. Now he's probably a Republican and probably more radicalized than me or you.
How many more people are gonna freaking die? How many more people are gonna go homeless? And how many more people are gonna be trafficked in our freaking system?
It's gross, man. And that's what I mean about the gross incompetence, and there's no way that you can't, like, this is one day. Nick Shirley went out there for one freaking day and uncovered $111 million worth of fraud, potential fraud. You know? And you tell me all the hundreds of government workers, hundreds of admins, all the elected officials, it's just, you know, we didn't know what was going on, but now that we do, I mean, don't mind you, there's a picture of me here with one of my biggest donors who is, you know, one of these guys committing millions of dollars in fraud. Don't mind that. But yeah, now that we know what's going on, we'll squash it, guys. Don't worry. Disgusting, man. Just absolutely disgusting. Well, that's that video. Big ups to Nick Shirley. I'll link the original video in the description. Give him a follow, guys, and make sure you go and like that video. We need to blow this up. Keep it going viral. If you see the clips on Twitter or Instagram or anything else, share them around, because this needs to be seen, what has been going on, because this one city is just an example of what's going on in the rest of the country. Hopefully it's the worst example, but we don't know. Otherwise, guys, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Very small portion of people that watch my videos are subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, let the videos be seen. Otherwise, guys, let's get back to work. Keep praying. I'll see you in the next one.